When it comes to the Street Fighter story, a newcomer would need a Wikipedia page just to know when the different titles in the series took place, let alone other resources to find out which of those are canon. As we dedicated fans of the series know, the chronological order goes something like this: Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and Street Fighter 3. When Street Fighter 5 was first announced, I was looking at every detail to find even the smallest of hints that the game could take place after Street Fighter 4. After the confirmation, I was thrilled. The game was identified as a bridge between Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 3. That meant that we were going to see more Street Fighter 3 characters. What's more is that we would eventually see the Street Fighter 3 cast interact with the other Street Fighter characters. Street Fighter 3 always felt like that standalone game that reigned in a class of its own. As someone who is fond of a majority of the Street Fighter characters, I want to see most of them, if not all, unified under a single game. To say the least, the chronology is all over the place, and I think it's fine time for us to move forward. Instead of building a bridge between two games, let's finally move beyond Street Fighter 3. So, what's my ideal Street Fighter story? Hey, I hope you don't mind me cutting in here. If you liked the video so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Street Fighter 6 should take place after the events of Street Fighter 3, several years in the future. The Secret Society's leader, Gil, is defeated, and everyone returns to their daily lives. After Gil's defeat in Street Fighter 3, I feel that he should go into hiding with Colleen, or Helen, whichever you prefer. Gil's time away from the spotlight should allow for him to conjure a new scheme in order to attain his goal of starting a new world filled with strong individuals. I feel that it would be interesting for Gil to play the role of a figurative ghost haunting the characters in the story, killing when necessary, showing no remorse, and treating the world and its people like irrelevant playthings. After all, he does intend on starting the world anew. To make his role even more significant and threatening, I feel that he should kill significant members of the story. Imagine him taking down Decapre for wasting her potential, or Ed for utilizing psycho power. Gil will be subjected to the subplot, eventually playing a role in the main plot during its finale. Why, you ask? Because Urien will be playing the role of the main antagonist. As the president of the Secret Society, the organization would still be active after Gil's defeat. I feel that this would be the perfect opportunity to highlight Urien and his potential of being a great antagonist. The Secret Society deals with issues involving business, crime, and so on. Urien should be at the helm of these operations. He should be much stronger than he was before, even more so than Gil at the time of Street Fighter 3. Even with the short screen time Urien had in Street Fighter 5 cinematic story mode, I felt that he was accurately portrayed to be a tall, intimidating man who could hurt someone. If portrayed correctly, I feel as though there will be no issue in his portrayal as a good villain. Have him do things, emphasize the fact that he gets things done, give him strong subordinates, and give him a goal. As for the main character, Ryu, subject him to the subplot. You may be asking, Roscoe, he's the main character. Hear me out. Ryu is not a heroic person. Ryu is a man who travels to improve his skill. He looks for the next fight, not for the next person to save. That was my issue with Street Fighter 5's cinematic story mode. In the story's conclusion, Ryu stole the spotlight from Chun-Li and Guile. Ryu had no stake in the battle. Whereas Chun-Li and Guile had good reasons for chasing Bison, such as with the death of Chun-Li's father and Charlie, along with being assigned to a mission, Ryu was only present because he was asked to. It really felt like he was picked to defeat Bison just because his face was on the cover of the game. Instead of being involved in the main conflict, allow for Ryu to have a subplot of his own. I don't know about you, but it feels like it would be a fine time for Capcom to reveal Akuma as Ryu's father. Sure, it's an age-old theory, but even I began believing it once I read into Akuma's story in Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. Never had I seen Akuma smile. After sparing his life and having a sentimental conversation with Ryu, I was convinced something was up. I want for these stories to be good and have high stakes. And the thing is, the story doesn't even have to be portrayed as a cinematic story mode. I believe if Capcom really tried, they could make a really neat cinematic story mode. However, if the talent behind the game is the same as Street Fighter V, I feel that Capcom should revert back to the Street Fighter IV formula. I'm sure everyone has their own opinions, but I feel as though if the development team gives every character significance, develop their characters, and present it well, we won't have anything to worry about. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed the content, check out my video on the state of Tekken Cross Street Fighter. You'll love it.